afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast Extra with me, your host, Imperial Dane. Master Propaganda here, Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to 1 vs 1 on Faymonville approach. The setting is the Eastern Front. 1944. The Red Army is in full swing. The Germans are desperately trying to prop up every part of the front line and failing in doing so, obviously. In the east, we got Caesar fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Fighting here for the elite 1st Panzerdivision versus the northwest, we got Sexpistole. Fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 10th Tank Corps, tasked with shattering this part of the German line like it was made out of driftwood. We got conscript support and company start here for Sexpistole, indicating most likely Maxims and the lights. Caesar here with the Grenadier MG42 build, standard stuff for the Wehrmacht. Doctor, we're looking Lightning War Jaeger Infantry Mobile Defense, with mostly infantry bulletins, with shock rifle, armoured assault, and mechanized support, with also mostly infantry there. The thing stands out that Sexpistole is obviously a lot less of the usual, so to say, common doctrines. I mean, he's only really got armoured assault and mechanized support. Usually tends to be a 2 vs 2 doctrine, so that stands a bit. And shock rifle, while he does get displayed, it actually rarely gets picked, so it's a more unusual setup there. In the south, here we go forward to the Pioneer Sport. They're trying to do with engineers here, pushing hard for the centre though, noting neither player sort of really pushing for the north half of the map so far, which certainly is interesting, in particular for the Wehrmacht player. You usually figure you'd go for this one, in particular now that it's more easily defensible to a degree, so that is a bit worth noting here. Maxim out here though for Sexpistole, as he now pushes for the northern fuel instead, as Caesar lays down a slightly ringish iron sort of curtain there around the entire area, at least trying to. Grabbing the fuel point there, securing the centre around here. He's going to, of course, need more grenadiers. He's going to need to flash out the engineers so they don't cause him any trouble down the road. Sexpistole committing to another Maxim here. Now the machine gun trying here to threaten the calf point, and yeah, nice move there by Caesar. Though Sexpistole catches onto it pretty quickly and sets his Maxim to car up against that. Such a move. But still, I really like that move there by Caesar. Second Maxim on the way there for Sexpistole. Almost done. Grenadiers then moving in, now converging on the conscript corps there. Grabbing the southern munitions. Maxim now setting up to support here. Going to flank the Grenadiers and push them away. And there you go, the Max moving in. First Maxim being exposed by the MG42 as its flank is exposed to the deadly machine gun. Maxim pulling up through here. It's going to try and flank the MG42 that way. Over here, Grenadiers versus conscripts. A lot of firing going on and lots of death. Caesar here might be aiming for a sniper out now versus Sexpistole. Or he might be trying something else, but there you go. Sexpistole catches Caesar off guard. He gets into the house. And that's going to be a bit of a shooter here, which I fear the MG42 is going to be losing out on, although he might get some few good hits early on before the Maximum turn around and in fact gets a kill due to simply the sheer distance there. In fact, the MG42 might just get a chance because in fact it's quickly getting a lot of kills in fact. So, but there you go. Maximum's now landing hits on the MG42. Oh, actually looks like I predicted this wrong. There we go, suppressed, at which point the Maximum gains the upper hand against the MG42. Simply because it now takes so long to reload between the bursts, which will increase the DPS of the MG42 massively and gives the Maximum the upper hand that we got going into wing. Maybe, who knows, the MG42 and the Grenadiers could maybe turn around. There's going to need more support here. Conscript back going for the flank here though. There we go, Grenadiers suppressed as well. There we go. Close one here though. Close one. The MG42 ended up being a bit more useful than I anticipated it would be. Mark constantly up. We get a mortar out here for Caesar to counter these sort of Maxim heavy build there from Sexpistole. Good choice there by Caesar and the German army. But there you go, engineers were not dealt with. Now going to hit the fuel point there. Other Maxim going for the fuel point there. So this could be Sexpistole gaining a fuel lead here versus Caesar in the early moments. Triple Grenadiers, MG42 mortar. Actually a very solid force composition. Gives you the ability to deal with a lot of things. Plus be aggressive or defensive. So very flexible build then. Certainly one I find myself going for a lot of the time when I'm playing the Wehrmacht, if I remember that. Sometimes I go for some slightly different compositions, but it's one I feel comfortable with personally, so good to see that. Grenadiers are being dealt with by the Maxim, laying down some heavy fire there. Poor Ludwig falls in the face of such Russian firepower. Will Sexpistole go for a mortar to counter Caesar's mortar, or will he be planning something else here? That's going to be the big question. Grenadiers pushing up here for the fuel, going to secure it for the fatherland. Bunker up here. No tech yet for Caesar though. No tech due to all the manpower bleeding and such. Medics up for Sexpistole. In particular that Maxim cruising down, he'd have it. Grabbing points here. Medics on the way for Caesar. Can tech now up. Could definitely benefit from it. Machine gun up here in the central house. Northern plunge being secured. Caesar basically taking advantage of Sexpistole's down. Thompson doesn't have a lot of infantry, you know, a mix of conscript maxims there, plus the fast medics does mean he can't really pressure a lot, but can keep up consistent pressure more likely. And there you go, mortar on the conscripts here, no need for barrages here. This range should be still pretty good. There we go, flamethrower maximuming in. This is really where I think a mortar would be helpful for Sexpistole and dealing with machine gun here. Smoke screen because I'm allowed to get up the flamethrower engineers very easily. Or get up some conscript with molotovs if that's what he wants. But maximuming Norfolks here. Third conscript, they're ready for Sexpistole. And there we go. Shifting the machine gun there. Good play by Caesar. Not just content with sticking in one place and leaning it around for the enemy to get, you know, shots at. Very nice to see that. Norfolk on these trying to push ahead, but are thwarted in the attempt by a noble Maxim crew. The South Pioneers spotting the conscripts. Fuel wise there. Sexpistole so far seems to be leading slightly ahead, but isn't quite doing anything with it. Up north, Maxim ground munitions. Caesar maintains control of the centre though. He is very determined to hold that piece of territory for the fatherland, Germany. So up north here, north flank action. Sexpistole doesn't quite have the force to sort of really think successfully push into the centre, and he seems to be quite aware of it. Though again, a couple of mortars could easily, you know, allow him to do that, in fact. Through either bombardments or smoke screens. Need to flank that machine gun before it deals with the conscript. Then Max do the gun leads, holding their faces down. There you go, more conscript. There you go, forcing retreat here. So there you go. Was able to overcome the central defences simply by outmaneuvering it. Faster here than Caesar could react. And here, kind of is pushed back, though he can't quite get to the fuel pump without exposing the Maxim. Plus there's a mortar nearby which could give Sexpistole there a bit of a headache. Bag of base for Sexpistole, nothing happening. Caesar got the light to make a nice company going up there for the German army. Pioneers hard at work. Grenadiers in need of some hard work from the medics. Sexpistole here coming to the Sicily. He's clearly worried about Caesar getting out like vehicle, in particular flamethrower half-tick would be quite devastating, since in case of any sort of maximum heavy strategy, most of the out players will go for the flamethrower half-tick to counter it, or a couple of 2-2s could also be an option here. Caesar is going for the 2-2, which can help us as a maximum, so it's obviously not quite as big a threat there to Sexpistole as a flamethrower half-tick. Either way though, going for the field gun here is, I think, a very solid decision there. Particularly if he doesn't want to go for mechanized just because he needs the guardsman. The field gun gives him some more strategic latitude there later down the game. Though of course he could still go for it, but it's not because he's going to have to go for it, it's because he wants to go for it. And also gives him options going for either armoured assault or shock rifle depending on the situation. So we'll see what it ends up with there. 2-2 they're arriving here for the German army. An armoured Kurdistan, those based in the civilian Kurdistan before the Second World War. Fun fact. Alongside the 230C, the predecessor to the 234, which again was sort of the chassis where the Puma was based on. Just a little fun fact there. Gun is about to get overwhelmed here though. We've got some light machines up to as well, constantly being flanked here with the 2-2. We have no anti-tank grenades. We've got the Sicily opening up in the 2-2, failing to hit though. Mortify against the Maxim doesn't quite hit the mark. At least not first round. Up here, tank command going up there for Sexpistole. Doesn't quite have resource for T-78, though he could try a half track. Less likely, but he could. More likely though is it's going to be a T-70 to pursue the 2-2, but of course also inflict grievous bodily harm there to Caesar's men. Up close to us, the 2-2 without anti-tank grenades, he's just going to get murdered. And he's not getting anti-tank grenades either, so I'm not entirely sure what Sexpistole is planning, except just somehow trying to, you know, scare off Caesar with the sheer magnitude of his bowls, which is, you know, quite the attempt. Good here in the 2-2, of course, but also he was trying to give time for his field gun to catch up with it, but now he's exposed the field gun to put into infantry rushing him down, so I mean, pretty risky there either way, pretty risky. And if his bowls keeps needing to be shown off for due to sheer size, he might be better off showing off to a physician because he might be catching something down there. Maxim being reinforced, engineers setting out. Another Maxim for Sexpistole at this stage. I feel like a third Maxim right now isn't fully conducive to what he wants to do. I really think you should go for a mortar, partly just have something to put pressure on Caesar's mortar, but also just smoke screens and just counters for other things that Caesar might be trying to do. I mean, sure, the Maxim himself as the infantry, but there's definitely an increase in support for Caesar as well. And a mortar would also just give Sexpistole a more well-rounded force composition. I mean, the field gun can double as artillery, but, you know, a mortar just, you know, has more flexibility. So, personally, I recommend a mortar here for Sexpistole simply for a more well-rounded force. Teleman's being laid down there by Caesar. Good spot by the way, and Teleman's in general a pretty good thing to try and get down if possible. Muse versus mortar crew here, machine gunner supporting. And rifling it off in the maximum up north. But those gunners, if they won't make it out. Can he wipe with the mortar though? Nope, pinned down to the ground. Pack 40 out for Caesar. He's clearly worried about Sexpistole going for light vehicles since the 2-2 isn't particularly good at that unless he gets more of them. And most likely Caesar does not want to commit more fuel to light vehicles at the current stage of the game. Supported by the field gun, Sexpistole launches a successful assault on the centre. Very nice work there. Nicely timed as well. 2-2 moving in here. Do we have any anti-tank grenades still? None. He's pretty much still reliant on a single field gun here to threaten the 2-2-2. Got the Pack 40 moving out there. Grabbing the southern field but not the northern one. He can go for the T-70 in a few seconds. And I imagine that's going to be a priority there for Sexpistole. Otherwise, going for a doctrine would be a nice idea at some point soon. There we go, T-70 light tank. 2-2 falling back for another battle repairs. Caesar's got nothing else happening there. So no doctor choice. So we'll see how he handles the tiny tank tower there from Sexpistole and the 10th Tank Corps. Looks like he's bombarding this because he's anticipating his opponent maybe having something there. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Maxus with MD42. This would actually be a good time to use the incendiary armor piercing rounds just to tear apart stuff. So the machine gun up there would be an easy target. There we go, there we go. So we got an artillery bombardment in. Really ruining the idea, but I still think what Caesar there mostly was pretty well thought out. But again, field gun pretty much just falls them out, so that's unfortunate there for Caesar. Mortar there hammering away. Might want to try and bombard the field gun directly. Can't move straight for the cuff point here. Caesar's assault in the south though is quickly losing steam in the face of severe resistance from Sexpistole on the 10th Tank Corps. There we go, we got the T-70 swooping in. That's going to really ruin the day here for Caesar. Well, he does have the Pack 40, it's currently up there. There's also the Teleman, and right here we got a big loss there for Caesar. That's one of his MD42s, in fact his veteran machine gun. And going to need a good wipe. Oh! That's a wipe as well. Severe casualties right there for Caesar against Sexpistole. Machine gun and a grenadier squad just lost. That's pretty big, and of course just a really good inauguration here for Sexpistole. And then again, he might have a chance of getting the T-70 with the 2-2 due to the severe damage suffered by the T-70. But there we go, field gun on the flank. Goes for it. Oh! Field gun too slow to react. Gets the 2-2 away. House collapsed though. And he lost another unit. Those are pioneers, I think. Caesar is taking an absolute brutal beating here from Sexpistole. And he lost the MD42 as well. Sexpistole got away with this. Right now, Sexpistole has a sizable force advantage. 36 pop versus 52, and just more pieces to move around the battlefield. And he still has the T-70. This is really bad for Caesar. He's going to have to push for some panzers fast and possibly consider some panzer grenadiers or maybe Jaeger infantry just for the Jaeger command squad just to fight against all these conscripts. Also needs to, I think, be more on the point with his mortar there. It's so far not done a lot of killing, so it probably needs to be a bit more aggressive with his barrages, try and look see if he can't, you know, wipe some port weapons in particular. North there, point being secured. Back here, nothing much happening. Got the spawn core going out there. Panzerunterstützungskompanie. Oh, corpse. And tank command there. Standing still for Sexpistole. Still no doctrine for him or Caesar. Machine gun dealing with Maxim set on. Plus the conscripts. And we got the 2-2. They're going for an aggressive flank. Sexpistole has yet to go for any anti-tank grenades as well. I'm a bit surprised at this stage considering how Caesar's been using his 2-2. He hasn't bothered with it. There you go. Field gun lands a hit in the south. T-70, those moving in there. Pack 40 setting up, but right here there's a big gap in defences where the Pack 40 could be overwhelmed, so he's going to have to fall back with it pretty soon. So he's adding another grenadier squad, machine or field gun there bombarding the mortar. Close hits, but nothing that sort of finishes off. Pack 40 close being wiped up, pretty bad there for Caesar. North 32 almost taken out there. He's really just pushing his forces as far as possible. Starting to get a bit risky there for Caesar. Tree sent flying by the T-70 somehow. Petrov, yes, the trees normally bounce like this. You know, I don't think they do. I don't think they do. I don't know why. It must be what those Canadians did, you know. The Canadians, yes. For some reason, there's Canadians running around everywhere, doing things. Up north, their point being secured. Troops are healing, reinforcing. Echelon 6 on the way to help deal further with vehicles and armour. Sexpistole at this stage pretty much not going to be taking out. I think could indicate maybe either armoured assault or shock rifles for the IS-2s. Field gun, I think, could benefit from being pulled back from healing right now. It's so low on health there. I mean, a good mortar hit or two could easily clear it out, or a good flank from Caesar. I mean, it's so low on health. This is, I would say, a bit risky there by Sexpistole. We got the Echelon 6M out here. When he's noticed the conscripts. Rifle grenade would be amazing here since... Ah, there you go, they moved. But there you go. Caesar's not putting up Panzer IV to support the 1st Panzer Division's efforts to turn the tide for Germany. Minesweeper was up. Top spot any mines from Sexpistole. Interesting to note there, Sexpistole has not been mining a lot. There's been some flares here and there, but nothing serious in terms of mines otherwise. Ah, well. As I say that, he then actually hits a mine. Thanks, Sexpistole. Up north, few upon there killed by conscripts. Territories just being utterly constrained. I mean, those losses to Caesar that really just gave Sexpistole a massive advantage. He's really leaving Caesar there in a tight spot. Gunners are being bombarded by the Echelon 6. He's certainly getting some good hits as well. Pack 40 firing in, and Panzer IV there closing in on being done. Panzerkampfwagen mobilized here for the German army. Deutschland. So can he turn the fight around with this Panzer IV? If he manages to upgrade with a pinlock machine gun, we'll have to see. We shall have to see. It's certainly not impossible, particularly in the hands of a skilled player, and particularly if then also Sexpistole additionally makes a few mistakes. We shall see what ends up with. Gunners are dealing with the Maxim, and we got the Panzer IV joining in. No pinlock machine for the Panzer IV there. Personally, a bit disappointed in that. And there we go, the Maxim being shredded here by ultra cannon, machine gun fire. Quick dealing with it. Eventually 2-2 is doing quite excellent work there. But there you go, double Maxims in the way. And then actually double machine guns. Mac 1s and MG42. Pack 40 there, flanking the Echelon 6. Panzer IV joining, got the fluid sending up here. Flare goes off. There we go. Panzer IV down to half health already. To zoom up from the front. Instead, the armor piercing is actually pretty good here with the MG42. Maximum off by the Germans. No incendiary armor piercing launch, which again would pretty much allow me to just take out the 2-2 in a matter of seconds. But both of them could do with some healing, and so could the CIS-3. I mean, a lot of the support weapons in such poor condition, Caesar just needs to sneeze at them. Commits the Panzer IV to some aggression here in the northeast. Finally, anti-tank grenades up here for Sexpistole. Very nice to see that. More pioneers for Caesar to help repair his tanks. Very good to see as well. Very good to see as well. Mortar there with 15 kills now. Veteran free. Excellent stuff there. Looks like he landed some good hits on the machine gun crews. Very nice. To the through there close to the ace level. Constables as Grenadiers. And we got 2 Constables moving hit there as well through the centre. Mortar nearby actually needs to be pulled back. That is way exposed. Neither Caesar, though, Sexpistole is yet to commit to a doctrine here. Yet to commit to a doctrine there. Bit of a shame. Bit of mortar fire here. At this range, by the way, veteran fleet and barges is going to be very accurate. It's going to be very painful there for Sexpistole. Close, but not quite in this case, probably because he slightly aimed it correctly. 2-2 with a damaged engine, but still able to escape here. The wrath of the Soviet Union. He's now taking quite some time repairing his stuff. Having only one engineer squad certainly does not help Sexpistole. Then he should probably consider another one. He's also losing control of the fuel pump, drilling in a big acid, which would allow him to again go for some sort of heavy tank. Ooh, this would be a great time for Incendiary Pins to probably have a chance of taking out the Sis-3. Pack 40 coming up there against the Sis-6. Panther 4 falling back. Heavy aggression across the centre road. And there you go, feeding up with the MB-42. Machine guns, by the way, are pretty good versus anti-tank and crew since they can't get suppressed, meaning they take full damage from a machine gun at all times. That's a really important thing to keep in mind there. Dealing with a Maxim, very close to the ace level. There you go, comes running in after it. And there you go, bombarding the mortar. In fact, you see the C's actually call up a second mortar, going for a full mortar battery. Coming to you more light artillery here versus Sexpistole. Which again, with lots of problems, this is actually a pretty good idea by Caesar, to be honest. It's also not something you've seen in some time of armor play, actually. Any player really coming to more than one mortar. It's nice to see someone coming to like double mortars. So you can see an overall situation over how Sexpistole is forming up his force. It is definitely vulnerable to double mortars. Panther strikes in north, T-70 falling back here rapidly. Maxim should also get away, particularly since right in front of the machine guns. As you can notice, machine guns can do itself heavy damage, and the main gun, of course, is pretty nasty as well. We cut another wipe here. Sexpistole is losing a lot of support weapons very fast. Like he's overextended himself a bit too far, I think. And his force composition compared to the Caesars also begins to run some issues. It's starting to, shall we say, lose some of its cohesion. Double mortars. Full retreat in the south. The mortar batteries going to be too much of a threat there. Maximum suppressing unit. Actually, that's the MD-42. Up north, Maxim with Pioneers this time. It is a Maxim, it is a German Maxim. Heading the northern victory point. Sexpistole remains in the lead here versus Caesar and the 1st Panzer Division. Bombardment and shooting, mortars hammering away, and we got tier 4 for Caesar. Bold maneuver here, might be planning Panthers or something else. I mean, considering you should be expecting at least a high chance of some kind of heavy armor, it's a bit risky maybe. You might bet off with some Stooks, because Sexpistole is about to hit him either with an IS-2, or with an ISU-152, and more likely it's going to be either the IS-2 or the IS-2. Then this flanking up here in the Maxims there, tearing into them. A machine gun black, the MD-42. Comes from the next one on the Wrath here. Maxim joining in to support the Germans. There you go, that's a Maxim. Close hit there with the minefield bombarding up as well. Got more pressure here from Caesar. Sexpistole is very close to the IS-2. He's got the resources, well actually now, to call in an IS-2. You could even call in an ISU now very soon. Caesar thereby lost his Panzer IV. A big loss here overall. Especially, oh, he's actually reinforcing around the corner in the IS-2 as fast as possible here. I definitely describe that as a bit of a mistake there by Sexpistole. You just called in the IS-2 on the spot on the double, so that was I think a bit of an error there. Could have put more pressure on Caesar right here, right now. I mean, he would all be here just shooting his stuff apart. Whereas with this, he's actually going to see some more time here as he is bringing up stuff. Theoretically, to go for tier 4 build up, say a Panther, but so far it's not quite happening. Now the start they're committing to a doctrine still 24. There you go. Shock rifle. He could have theoretically gone for that sooner for the shock troopers. T7 there, eventually 2-7 kills, really turning into Caesar's troops, keeping our way up from his pack 40. Caesar though, still no doctrine. Still no doctrine. Incendiary Pisman from the T7, he's gonna get it, he's gonna get it! Oh no, he doesn't, he loses the gunner! And it's suppressed! So the T-70 there, Barely operable. Takes out the MG for the super looks. There you go. 222 gets it. In the end, the 222 gets the T-70. Sexpistole is finally able to call his eyes too, though I would say it's several minutes delayed. He could have had that much sooner. At least a couple of minutes sooner. Which again, I think would have had a bigger impact here on the Caesar and also, you know, bound to think make better progress. Caesar remains doctrineless. At this stage, he could go for Jaeger Infantry or Lightning War simply for the Stuka close air support. In that regard, Lightning War probably, of course, equipped with Resonance Storm maybe for a Tiger tank. Though probably would recommend a pair of Stukas instead to stop the IS-2 as it rampages through Caesar's lines. Shattering the terrain, the foliage. Sexpistole shows no mercy to the fascists. 24 kills in that mortar, absolutely impressive work. Almost got the Pack 40 there. Can he finish it off? Close but no cigar. Caesar not calling in any armor. It certainly seems like he's stalling here for the Tiger tank. Honestly, he does need to pull back the IS-2. He also needs more engineers to repair his IS-2 fast. Like one engineer squad to fix an IS-2 is just not enough. Machine gun wiped out. A small loss there for Caesar. And it's now all of a sudden Caesar's in the lead with victory points over Sexpistole. How things rapidly change. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Phil gonna need of healing and reinforcement, but Sexpistole more primarily is in need of more engineers to fix his stuff up. Caesar going for the Stuka. He's actually got the heavy Panther. We could actually go for a Panther here, to be honest, to help deal with the IS-2, but he does go for the Stuka. Oh, he's actually sending him down south here. I mean, obviously helps to grab the victory point, but there's a Telemine nearby, and again, he's got no Minesweeper, so theoretically, Sexpistole could run his IS-2 into the Telemine. At which point Caesar can very easily deal with the IS-2 since he can't get away very fast. Plus, of course, it just takes a large amount of damage from the Telemines. 2-2 there survives a hit there from the IS-2. Sturmgeschütz ready here for Caesar. For the first Panzer Division IS-2 falling back. Coming these moving hit pack for the supporting machine gun, they're still lying about. Abandoned and forgotten. Got the 2-2 that's zipping in. Got the Stug on the move as well. And he's going to move straight to the Telemine. Right in front of Pack 40 and a Stug. That is pretty much game over for the IS-2 crew. Showing that as always, mines pay off where well placed. And your opponent doesn't go for mines for in particular payoff. There you go. Oh, it only got abandoned. The IS-2 is only abandoned. And Sexpistole can see this. He's rushing in the edge. He's going to try and take it out. The problem he's going to have to get past the Pack 40 and the Stug. IS-2 recruit, by the way. The IS-2 has been recruited. Panther fast off. No, it can't get close enough. The Stug. Oh, misses. Pack 40 gets it. And with that, I think it's safe to say it is G. Maybe it isn't, but I just don't see Sexpistole winning his way back from this. I mean, he's pretty much just given Caesar an IS-2 heavy tank. There you go, Sexpistole surrenders. A loss for the Soviet Union. A loss for the 10th Tank Corps victory for Germany. Close fight several times, there's showing a lot of big swings, you know, usually happening from one little thing happening and then boom, either player was in control. Caesar, by the way, never chosen a doctrine. I think he could have done a bit better then. Sexpistole could have chosen doctrine sooner. Or say Sexpistole made a few tactical mistakes here and there, not enough mines, not enough flanking, and he definitely lacked the mortar. I definitely feel like the mortar was one of Caesar's big advantages here. I mean, he basically had a pair of them, by the end, and he made pretty good use of them. Bombarding, just supporting his forces, they made a big difference. I'm surprised Sexpistole just never really went for one of his own. Had he done that, I think he'd been in a much better position as well that way. So there's definitely some, I think, room for improvement there for both players. But I mean, CZ just played better. Again, it was really close at times, and you know, had Sexpistole not thrown away the IS-2 like he did, because he just sent it far off instead of just getting back to repair with like extra engineers, I mean, this would have gone on for longer. But again, mines win wars, and mines can suddenly swing again around in your favor. He also should have had it in sooner, by the way. But again, that's there. Hope you enjoyed this little extra episode. If you didn't, subscribe, like, share, comment, and of course, you know, feel free to discuss the video. Of course, this is Imperial signing off, and see you all another time for another video. Cheers.